this seems pretty self-explanatory. You got two spring clips here. You got two spring clips here. Alright folks, welcome back to another episode of Odyssey Life. I'm Bernie. This is the Odyssey Life Workshop, and in today's episode, we're going crazy for chrome. As we get ready to install the DG pipe on our Honda Odyssey FL250, as well as our Douglas racing rims on our brand new tires that are stacked over there in the corner for the last 6 months. And we also have a list that I've put together, and today we got the seat track, clean up the wiring, exhaust, upper airbox, blah blah blah, yada yada, and yada yada. And as we go along, we're going to go ahead and check them off the list just to keep track of our progress. It's been a minute since we worked on the GT250, and I'm excited to get to work, so let's get to work. Alright, so the first thing on our list is seat tracks. I have our seat tracks here. These had been soaking in a 2-stroke oil mix for probably the entire time that they've been in this garage. Nephew Nick has cleaned them up with brake clean, and then I went ahead and re-impregnated the ball bearings that are in here with fresh grease. This one with the handle goes on that side, and this one without the handle goes on this side. We have our Tasty Cake apple pie box that has all of our brand new nuts and lock washers. Since we're changing them out and using all new hardware, I don't know what size the stock ones were. The ones we're putting in are 13 millimeter. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get our freshly greased, restored seat tracks back on the GT250 for the final time, so we can install our seat and move ahead with the, reassembly process. All right, guys, let's get to work. So, the next thing on our list is clean up the wiring. I've got 2 different size wire looms, as well as stainless steel cable ties and black Velcro cable strap. I'm trying to stay away from using traditional zip ties on this build because, frankly, they just look like crap. So, we'll get away with using this, and it'll look fantastic for the extra effort. Alright folks, let's get this wiring cleaned up so we can check it off the list and move on to doing our DG exhaust. Alright guys, let's get to work. Well, after toiling for over an hour, finally got our cables all sheathed up. Used some of them stainless steel cable ties. We also cleaned up this, ran our loom over all the electric start cables, and we ended right here. So we will be able to continue when we wire in our steering wheel, which connects to those connections right there. So Alright folks, we're going to consider the electric all wrapped up for now, even though we still have, I think this cable here needs to go on the inside, but it's not even tied to it. So, alright, next thing on the list, we can scratch off, clean up the wiring. Next is exhaust. Let me get our DG exhaust ready. We'll get that installed. My bad for jumping the gun as usual. We have to install our drive belt before we can install our exhaust. Don't forget, it says right here on the belt, this side to engine, so make sure that your arrows are pointing towards the engine. All right, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna install our drive belt.
One shot, one dream, 6 hearts, one team. Cause we walk to the streets when we hit it to the beat on the Hollywood scene. If you don't make it out to the
Alright guys, our drive belt's on. Alright, now we can move on to our DG exhaust. This seems pretty self-explanatory. You got 2 spring clips here, you got 2 spring clips here. So we're gonna go ahead. I looked at the pipe and there isn't anything to attach the exhaust pipe to in regards to the stock factory exhaust bracket here. So I'm not installing the bracket because there's no place to attach it to the pipe. I'm going to jump to the other side. We're going to get the pipe. We're going to connect it here and connect it here and put on our last spring, and then our DG exhaust is installed. All right, guys, let me get repositioned and we'll get our pipe on. All right, folks, as promised, we're moving right along. As you saw, I just installed the upper clutch cover, and boy, does that look fantastic. And how about our exhaust? Looks better than what I imagined. I can't wait to see the 2-stroke smoke puffing out of the back of that bad boy. So, to keep moving, we're going to go ahead, we're going to install our upper airbox. We got this upper airbox from Randy Lee, former member of the Odyssey Life Facebook page. He's an FL250 aficionado, and with this airbox being as old as a machine, we had to do a little bit of engineering to make sure when we mount this, it lasts for another 40 years. We made these coned washers, prepped them and painted them black. One's going to go on the inside and one's going to go on the outside. It's going to grab a hold of that plastic and sandwich it down, making sure that this airbox stays secure. We got the brand new hardware, bolts, washers, and lock washers. So I'll see you over at the back of the GT250 for our upper airbox installation. right, folks, what'd you think of that? We made more progress today than I think we have in the entire build series. We are super close for our first fire. Got to get the fuel system plumbed out, got to get the throttle cable hooked up, got the rear caliper to install. Look at that bad boy. I dumped about 1.5 cans of clear coat on this, as well as our lower clutch guard. I dumped about a whole can of clear coat on this too. Doesn't that look amazing? Subscribe to the Odyssey Life YouTube channel for your free chance to win this one-of-a-kind, amazing, beautiful Honda Odyssey FL250. One lucky subscriber's driving off in it, guys, and I hope it's you. And don't forget about our proud sponsor, Joe from Odyssey TV. He's one picking up the tab on this whole build series, and he donated the machine to give back to his faithful customers. So, if you're a Honda Odyssey FL250, 350, or a Honda FL400 Pilot owner, head on over to oddytv.com, the premier place for all the parts to keep your machine running, guys, at a reasonable price. So, all right, folks, I guess that's our video for the week. Look forward to next week's video on the GT250. So, I guess as I always say, if you're riding, stay safe, wear a helmet, and don't forget, it ain't work when you're having fun, guys, and it definitely ain't work when you can pull some parts out of the box that have been boxed up for months and slap them flawlessly onto your giveaway machine. You find out it's nothing but a good time. So, all right, folks, I'll see you next week, unless the United States government knocks on my door and says because of some special skills I didn't even know I had, I'm needed to save the world. But I promise, when I go use those skills and I save the world and they drop me back off, I'll see you then. All right, folks, see you next week. I can hear the Odyssey running now, guys. Stay tuned.